From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at Noon, streaming now.
Right now at noon, a Madison County community is stepping up to help their neighbors after a Christmas Eve fire destroyed their home.
There's nothing left in my room, my fiance's room, the baby's room, part of my middle daughter's room. There's clothes, but there's so much water damage that I don't think they can be saved.
Ashley Waldrop there says that the fire started in an outlet by their front door, and thankfully no one was home at the time of the fire. Those living in Frankton are rallying to help this family. Ashley says her neighbors also helped to save Christmas.
It's crazy. Everyone has been, my phone hasn't stopped going off asking what we need, but I had someone deliver 2 boxes of gifts to my parents' porch Christmas morning. Mrs. Betts made stockings for my girls and myself. So we had stockings because they were in the house. And they just made sure that they had something to open that morning.
A GoFundMe is raising money for this family, and the state fire marshal is investigating that fire. Now to Terre Haute, where police say a man accused in a Christmas Day murder has turned himself in. Philip Adderson turned himself into authorities in Johnson County. Vigo County officials say Adderson was transported to the Vigo County Jail shortly after turning himself in. Adderson is accused of killing 38-year-old Sarah Henderson of Terre Haute. Her body was found in a storage unit on Friday. Adderson was said to be living in the storage unit with Henderson. And this midday, all eyes are on the Senate as it remains unclear if they'll hold a vote on a bill increasing stimulus checks for Americans. On Monday, the House passed a bill increasing the stimulus payments from $600 to $2,000. The president overnight tweeting his continued support for the larger stimulus payments, saying the people have suffered enough. ABC News reports the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will speak from the Senate floor this afternoon. That's when we expect to hear more about how Republicans will handle the issue.
Republicans have a choice. Republicans have a choice. Vote for this legislation or vote to deny the American people the bigger paychecks they need. To reject this would be in denial of the economic challenges that people are facing, and it would deny them, again, the relief they need.
Well, the Senate session started just minutes ago, and so if a decision is made during this newscast, we'll of course bring you an update just as soon as we get it. And we are working for you, getting answers about the $600 stimulus checks that are a done deal. Eligibility is based off your 2019 tax return. Full payments will go to individuals making up to $75,000. Each dependent child age 17 and under is eligible for another $600. Michael Jameson of the On Target CPA says if you did not get a check in the first round of stimulus relief, you could be eligible this time.
Let's say maybe your income went down. So maybe your income was over $100,000 in 2019. So you haven't not gotten to the stimulus checks in 2020 because of the pandemic. Maybe your income went down. Anybody who would qualify for the stimulus payment based on their 2020 tax return when it's being filed, they'll get the money when they file that 2020 tax return. So just because your 2019 information is, you don't qualify for it, you are going to get the money added to your refund or subtracted from your balance due when you file your 2020 return.
For more details on the stimulus bill, you can go to WRTV News app. Let's get a check right now of our Tuesday forecast with meteorologist Todd Clausen. Todd, as we round out 2020, it is a roller coaster of a week in the weather department.
Yeah, today's pretty seasonable, Lauren. Then tomorrow we're going to spike to near 50 degrees, but it's going to be a pretty wet day. Then we tumble again on Thursday. Then New Year's Day is back up in the 50s. So you're exactly right. It's going to be kind of a roller coaster ride here, up and down with several storms to get through. Outside right now, we're just dealing with chilly conditions still, but quiet across the area. 32 in Indy, 34 in Bloomington. Cold to the north, though. Peru at 29 degrees. We had some sunshine here this morning, but as you see here, as you look off to the west, the clouds already starting to gather. You see a few snow returns there near Terre Haute. That is not reaching the ground, but off to our west, there is a big storm system. Most of that's going to stay to our north and west as far as the snow goes, but we will eventually get into the rain during the day tomorrow. But this afternoon, anything you do have planned outdoors, you'll just have to bundle up a little bit, but no precipitation is heading our way. Temperatures will actually climb a little bit overnight, and then as we get into the day tomorrow, it's basically going to be a washout during the daytime hours. Rain will arrive in the morning, it'll taper off in the evening hours, but during the daylight hours, it's going to be steady. It's going to be fairly light, which is the good news. We'll talk about this storm, which is the first of two heading our way, coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes. Lauren?
Todd, thank you. Let's get to the latest now on the coronavirus pandemic and its continued impact on the state of Indiana. The State Department of Health reporting in the last few minutes 164 more Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. That's a record number of deaths reported in a single day. We also want to point out that these deaths were reported between November 26th and Monday. Since March, nearly 7,700 Hoosiers have died with the virus. Health officials also report more than 4,000 more Hoosiers have died with COVID-19 since the pandemic began. More than 1 million Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. In this midday, the latest numbers from Johns Hopkins University show more than 19 million Americans have tested positive for the virus since the pandemic began. Nearly 335,000 Americans have died with the virus. The nation's top doctor says January could be one of the worst months yet when it comes to the number of new cases and new deaths.
That in addition to the surge, we're going to have an increase superimposed upon that surge, which could make January even worse than December. I hope not. I hope that doesn't happen, but it certainly is possible.
So far in December, more than 1,700 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. Of course, we'll keep updating you on those latest numbers. Meanwhile, the president promoted antibody treatments to help fight COVID-19. And this afternoon, hundreds of thousands of those doses are sitting unused. The infectious disease specialists say that one issue, lots of people are missing that sweet spot when they can get the medicine for it, when it best works in the first week of the illness. Treatments like Eli Lilly's Bomlaniva have been yet to be given via an IV. Dr. John Hammer from Denver says getting IV centers up and running is also difficult. Hammer's waiting on IV center to begin his study for Lilly's drug.
We have a place where we could do it that would be safe for providers and for patients, but we just can't get the staffing or haven't been able to get it up and running to date.
HHS numbers show that more than 530,000 doses are still available. Only 290 doses have been shipped to hospitals. There's also some cost confusion. Under deals the drug makers made with the federal government, the doses are free, but depending on insurance coverage, patients may have to pay for administering the cost of the drug. This afternoon, while vaccinations continue, health professionals are working on building trust with communities of color who are especially skeptical of the COVID-19 vaccine. Pew Research poll found just 42% of Black Americans are willing to get vaccinated. That's despite 71% knowing someone who died or has been hospitalized with the virus. Dr. Curtis Wright, the president of Eskenazi Medical Group, tells WRTV that they're fighting a legacy of medical distrust that they didn't create, but it's worth it to try and save lives.
I implore everyone, when it's your time, please get vaccinated. It's safe.
Well, U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams there was in Indianapolis addressing this issue last week. If you have any questions about your vaccine, you're encouraged to talk to your healthcare provider. 5G towers are popping up in the neighborhoods all across central Indiana. So just ahead here on the news at noon, we'll see how some area homeowners are enlisting the help of lawmakers to stop the spread of these cell towers. Todd.
Yeah, Lauren, it's dry outside right now, but two storm systems will head our way as we round out 2020 and enter 2021. The first of which is tomorrow, which is going to bring us quite a bit of rainfall across the area. We'll talk about that, some snow showers, and the second storm to impact the area as well coming up in your WRTV Storm Team forecast.
10/9 Central on ABC.
Welcome back. Homeowners concerned with 5G structures in their neighborhoods are getting attention of a state lawmaker. Many homeowners say they're blindsided by 5G technology, and it's an issue that WRTV Investigates has been following for a year now. North Willow Farms has nearly 400 homes full of concerned residents. Verizon has already built 6 5G structures in the area, and they're planning another 9. Homeowners took their concerns to state lawmakers. Senator J.D. Ford plans to file a bill in the days ahead. If passed, Ford's bill will give homeowners a bigger voice when it comes to the placement of these 5G structures and improve the notification process.
The big thing is that when you go through this process as a homeowner and you realize you don't have, there's nowhere to go to, there's no one to talk to about your concerns, there's no way to fight back. And so the fact that Senator Ford is taking this on is huge, because for us it gives us this sense of that the system works and that our elected officials are concerned, they hear the concerns of homeowners, they take them seriously.
CTIA, which represents wireless industry, says on its website, quote, typical exposure to 5G devices, such as small cells attached to phone poles or the sides of buildings, is far below permissible levels and comparable to Bluetooth devices and baby monitors. Lawmakers passed Senate Bill 213 back in 2017. It authorized a massive rollout of small cell wireless structures all across the state. Well, this midday, investigators in Nashville, Tennessee are trying to find out why a man turned his RV into a massive bomb. That bombing took place outside of the AT&T building in downtown Nashville. The bomber, 63-year-old Anthony Warner, blew himself up in the blast. Now, newly released body camera video here showing the moments police officers responded to that scene. Officers initially responded to a report of shots fired downtown early Christmas morning when they found that RV parked in front of the AT&T building. Broadcasting a female voice, officials say Warner was not on their radar.
He was not on our radar. He was not someone that was that was identified as a person of interest for the Bureau, and so we were not familiar with this individual until this incident.
Investigators are analyzing property belonging to Warner that was collected during their investigation. Warner's financial records show that he purchased potential bomb-making components. A strong earthquake rattles portions of the Mediterranean, leaving behind some major damage. Just ahead here on the news at noon, why this isn't the first time this week the area's felt the earth shake. Plus, 2020 looks to put an end on the weather roller coaster. And up next here on the news at noon, meteorologist Todd Clausen is breaking down when this wild ride will involve a raincoat. That's all ahead here. Stick around. Well, those are some terrifying moments of an aftershock when it rattled Croatia. The smaller quake followed a 6.3 quake earlier this morning. Officials say the larger quake was centered near Zagreb, the country's capital. The earthquakes have caused widespread damage, causing some buildings there to collapse. Local media reports a number of injuries, but could not confirm an exact number. The same area was hit by a 5.2 earthquake on Monday. The first storm of this winter season is bringing a treacherous mess, including snow, ice, and heavy rain out to California. Well, the storm also stranded at least 100 drivers on Mount Baldy in Southern California. That's according to California Highway Patrol, which had to call in snow plows to help clear the area. State troopers say it took several hours to get everyone back on the roads. And we know we kind of have a wild week of weather here, Todd, but nothing like they're seeing out there. It's more just a change in temperatures, right?
Yeah, you know, for us, we're going to be on the warm side of these storm systems for the most part. There's a little bit of snow in this forecast, but it's not going to accumulate like what you saw there. But we do have a lot of rain and the potential of some flooding heading our way as we work our way through the next couple days. Outside right now, we're just dealing with the clouds once again starting to increase ahead of our next storm system. But we will remain dry here throughout the afternoon hours. We're sitting generally right around the freezing mark in most locations. In fact, right at freezing in Indy, as well as Bloomington, 34 in Muncie. We'll go up a couple more degrees here this afternoon for our high temperatures today, putting us in the mid-30s, which is seasonable for this time of year with dry conditions. And then as we work our way into the evening hours, temperatures will actually hold pretty steady, if not start to come up a little bit overnight. Here come the clouds. You see a few returns with some snow there in eastern Illinois. Most of that should not reach the ground, but can't rule out the chance maybe in western portions of the state of a flurry or two, but nothing to worry about. But here's the big storm system. But the area of low pressure here is going to travel to our north, and that is going to leave us again on the mild side of things. In fact, tomorrow, high temperatures are going to be up generally in the low 50s in many locations, so obviously well above freezing. 34 throughout the evening hours, sunset tonight right around 5:30 with just mostly cloudy skies. But once we get into tomorrow, the first storm arrives. The second one comes in on Friday. But with all the rain that'll be around, there will be the flooding potential as we work our way into the latter half of the week in the first few days of 2021. Expecting about a half an inch to an inch of rain tomorrow. Then Thursday, we deal with some snow showers with very minor snow accumulation. Then Friday, a half an inch to an inch of additional rainfall across the area. Here we go on TrueCast as we work our way into the evening hours. A flurry or two will be possible. Then overnight tonight, that's when the precipitation arrives. It makes its way into the metro area probably by about 8 a.m. tomorrow. So it may not be raining in most locations when you wake up. But then once the rain starts to settle across the area, it's a light but steady rain throughout much of the afternoon before it tapers off during the evening hours. So the daytime hours tomorrow are going to be the wet ones. And then you notice a little bit of snow mixing in here in southern locations as the colder air comes rushing in tomorrow evening. With temperatures in the 50s and rain, there'll be some snow around tomorrow evening and into early Thursday, but we are not expecting any accumulation across the area, with the exception maybe a quick coating on grassy areas there down to the south. But there are those temperatures tomorrow. They'll be all the way up near 50 degrees and above 50 degrees in some locations. Now, Friday morning, there's the brief chance of some freezing rain as the next storm comes in, but most of that will be rain as well throughout the day on Friday, with, again, another half an inch to an inch of rain. And then finally, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, a chance to dry out, Lauren, with temperatures that'll be in the 30s and 40s. So up and down temperature-wise here for the remainder of this year, and then storms are on the way as well, but again, mainly rain across central Indiana.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. So this midday, the Trump administration isn't giving it back in its fight to ban TikTok just yet. On Monday, the administration appealed a decision handed down by a federal judge earlier this month. The ruling prevented authorities from fully implementing the restrictions against the app. TikTok did not immediately respond to requests for comment. The company has been in President Trump's crosshairs for months now. He accuses the app of being a national security risk. TikTok has been working out a deal with the U.S. government to satisfy its concerns. Well, two sweet furry faces are looking for the right family to call their forever home. We'll introduce you to them, and we'll have one final check of your forecast right here on the News at Noon. Stick around.
The strength to make a difference.
Welcome back. So Taylor Swift's fans are irate on social media about a decision to paint her out of a picture. The singer and songwriter is being removed from a famous Nashville mural that pays homage to country music legends. The likeness of singer Brad Paisley will now appear where Swift once sat perched on the stool at Legends Corner. 14 other country music stars appear in the painting. The artist says the decision was made following Swift's focus on pop music. Well, it is time for our pet of the week, and these sweet faces will make your heart sing. Take a look. Gary is a year-old pup who loves to play with toys. Our friends at Indy Humane say that he's smart and food motivated. Now, Gary can be a little bit timid at first, and he needs a quiet home without kids or other pets so he can be the star of your home. You can take Gary home for an adoption fee of just $50. Look at that sweet face. Well, if your heart is purring for a new feline family member, Cindy Lou could be just for you. She's about 7 years old and she loves attention. Cindy Lou loves catnip and mice toys. She tolerates other cats, but she'd likely do best as the only fur child in the family. She can join your family for a $20 adoption fee. You can check out both Gary and Cindy Lou right now at indyhumane.org. Hoping they get some new homes for the new year, Todd.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're both adorable. Many other pets there at the Humane Society as well, so go check it out if you're in the market. As far as the weather today, just increasing clouds this afternoon, but dry, 37 degrees. Tomorrow, rainy and windy, some gusts up to 30 miles per hour. And then as we work our way into Thursday, some snow showers early. And then on Friday, another round of rain. We could see over 2 inches of rain Wednesday through Friday before we start to dry out as we head into the weekend. And then cooler, more seasonable weather for Saturday and Sunday with high temperatures, Lauren. That'll be topping off in the mid to upper 30s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. And thanks for making WRTV your choice for news. We'll see you later.